What's up, Husker fans? Denny here with the Blackshirts.com, bringing you another episode of the Blackshirts and what's going on here with our Huskers. It's Thursday, October 17th. The team's getting ready to head out towards Bloomington, Indiana to face the Hoosiers. We've got off a bye week. We all know this. We've discussed it. Indiana's off a bye week. I want to talk about the next two games today and what this means. Nebraska's in a tough position. What this means for Nebraska football, Coach Rule, the perception of Nebraska, not only nationwide but locally. Um, it's we're in a weird position as the Husker fan. As you know, I talked about previously that we as a fan base skipped the just win phase, and we're at this kind of put a product out there that's college football playoff ready, right? We should be one of the 12 invited to the dance. Um, but we've got to win some games, okay? So the next 2 weeks is away games. We have Indiana this weekend and next weekend, Ohio State, okay? Now, Nebraska is in a real odd, tough position here, right? Because you have basically three scenarios. We either lose them all, both of those games, to Indiana and Ohio State, or we win one of those two games. All right. I don't care which one, or we win them both. Now, I'm not sure which one we fall into yet, but if I make a prediction today, probably do it this weekend before we get probably do it Friday or Saturday morning and get it out probably tomorrow. But let's talk about those scenarios. No wins, one win, and two wins. Okay. And what the perception can be of Nebraska. What are the dangers and the pitfalls that, Coach Rule, Nebraska, us fans face in those scenarios? So, scenario one, let's start with the two losses, the worst case scenario, right? We stand to be considered same old Nebraska we've been seeing, right? We lose these two games, and it's the same old Nebraska that we've been seeing. The national narrative will change, to the program is still stuck in this frustrating cycle of inconsistency, despite, Matt Rule's effort to rebuild it. They're still the same program. Two high profile losses because we are going to be on Big Noon Kickoff for both these games. Do not let that impact be lost on what we're facing down here. Don't two national audiences, Big Noon Kickoff, Fox, away games, right? Coach Rule does he says he likes being the underdog, right? Well, you're the underdog. All right, you got your wish. You got what you like, not your wish. Your wish would be the national championship. But you like the underdog. So you got your like. It's in your wheelhouse. You're hungry. Um, we lose these two games, and the national narrative is going to be Nebraska's the same Nebraska we've been seeing. And the rebuild hasn't happened yet. It could be another miss on a coaching hire. Whew. I'd hate to hear that one, right? Just but that could be the local and the national narrative. I don't think that's the case, but it could be the case, right? That's something we could face down. Same old Nebraska we've been seeing. Nothing's different. Then if we get one win, one loss, it's still kind of they haven't arrived. It's a split result. Either beating Indiana and losing to Ohio or vice versa would reflect a middle ground for the Huskers. Outcome would likely reinforce the image. Nebraska's team capable of flashes of success, just not consistently. We need to be consistently competing in the Big Ten, and that would not show it. And it could be win against Indiana or we win against Ohio State and drop the other. But that would be the thing. It'd be same old Nebraskas that we've seen of late under Matt Rule. Not there yet. And then it's a race, to can Rule do it? Somebody on one of my social medias said this is next year. This is next year, and because that's been the narrative around here is next year. This is next year. Well, we don't want to be the same old Nebraska as of late. We don't want that to be the national narrative perception, the feeling. We certainly don't want to be it locally. Uh, Never forget this too. Nebraska winning is good for the economy in Nebraska. It's somewhat good for it nationally, right? It's good for college football. Everybody says this, but you definitely see it and you definitely feel it. I think people want Nebraska to win. So let's talk about that. 2 wins. Then it's good to see old Nebraska again, right? So 2 losses, it's same old Nebraska we've been seeing. We split them. It's same old Nebraska as of late. 2 wins. It's good to see old Nebraska back again, right? That's the one we want, right? Now, if Nebraska manages to win both games, this would be the most exciting scenario for us here in Husker Nation. Knocking off Indiana and Ohio State in consecutive weeks on the road, Big Noon Kickoff. Good for recruiting, good for the economy, good for the boys on the team, the ones that are really making the sacrifices, right? They are making sacrifices. Yes, they're getting paid, but they are making sacrifices. They are working a full-time job and going to school, and putting their physical and mental health on the line, right? Say mental health because of social media. It's there. So we win both of these, right? It would send a shockwave through the Big Ten. Um, it would revive the perception of Nebraska here. Show that we're a team that's capable of competing and being the best. Same old Nebraska that we used to be. See, as a context should be taken back here in the Huskers of the 90s when the team was feared. 2 victories could put us back in the national rankings. Should. In a position to be a serious contender, not only the Big Ten, but the national title, right? We would probably be in the conversation. The rest of the games don't look scary at all. It could be a trip up. If we drop one, we still could go 10-2, right? So that was my early prediction. I made that before the season, was 10-2. I had one being Ohio State loss. The second one could be a drop I thought maybe Wisconsin was going to be a trap game with Fickle and, his revamp of the offense there, going from the power run to this kind of spread thing that Fickle does. It was going to take a complete rebuild of the roster. Uh, it's that's a big thing. So I kind of thought that was a trap game for us because it's Fickle and he could produce. They're not doing very good, so it's kind of that's slipped off my radar. Not off the radar, I should say, is the expectation of a could be a potential loss. So I guess what I'm saying is these 2 Big Noon Kickoff games could define Nebraska's 2024 season. It could shape how we're viewed, could shape how we view Matt Rule under his second year here at Nebraska as a head coach. Um, while 2 losses would feel a lot lower, like the same disappointments we've been feeling, 2 wins would evoke some memories of the glory days, right? That would be nice. Dominant Nebraska. Um, that's where we want to get to. We wouldn't have arrived yet, but maybe against Ohio State if we beat them, but we cannot look past Indiana. We got to get through this one first. Face Indiana, which is a good team. Make no mistake about it. Joel Klatt said that Indiana was a team that was playing above their talent level. And I agree with that. That's not a knock, as he said. They are playing above their talent level. That means they are well coached, good team. Do not forget, this team is doing good because half of them came, with Spaghetti over. So that's not their first time running under him. Rule didn't have that luxury. He didn't bring a team with him when he came from the Carolina Panthers. He came without a loaded chest. He's built his chest. He said these are his guys. Uh, they are his guys. They're our guys. This is our team too. We've got a big game, two big games, two big noon kickoffs, front of the light, so to speak. Opportunities there. Now they need to go take it. Our boys in the Scarlet and Cream need to go out there and take this win. Play their ball. Play hot-headed, fast, hard, but steady on the course. Do what you do. Don't try and be something you are not. Let roll loose. Let Dylan sling it. Let him do what he does. Run the ball between the tackles. You try and get out to the outside, there's nothing there. It's not very solid. Um, Go be Nebraska. Go be the Nebraska that you are. Rules, Coach Matt Rule has said this, right? And I understand it. He says, "Baby, that's just where we are." And if that is where we are, then go be who we are. Go win this game. Big Noon Kickoff. Don't miss out. Click, like, subscribe, whatever social media, how you're consuming this. Please, it helps a lot. If you like this content, let's reach more people. Invite your friends, share. Uh, would love to, would love to have any feedback. If you think Nebraska is going to win 1, 2, 0 games here in the next two, tell me down below. I ain't going to get mad. I like it. I love the engagement. It means you're paying attention. If you've made it this far, thank you. Appreciate you. Click like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys again soon. Peace.